Why do some homes sell super fast and other homes just sit on the market, same price range, similar houses, one sells in 3 days and the other one's still sitting on the market after 90 days. Why? Well, I'll tell you, it's not the market. A lot of sellers think that if their home doesn't sell, it's the market or gas prices or the war in Iran. And I'll tell you, it's really none of those things. It really boils down to 3 specific things. So if you are interested in selling your home coming up, or if you tried selling your home and your house came off the market, expired, this video is for you. Before we go any further, my name is Cameron Stewart with the Homes by Cameron Stewart Real Estate Team, powered by eXp Realty. We're serving all of your needs here in the greater Rome, New York area, and our team works from Syracuse to Albany, anywhere in between, Watertown to Binghamton. Give us a call. We're happy to help you with your buying and selling needs here in Central New York. The first thing we're going to cover is pricing strategy. And listen, I understand there's a huge disconnect between realtors and sellers with pricing strategy. Sellers want to get the most amount of money they can get, and realtors want to actually sell the home. Now, I'm going to give you an insider tip here. It really shouldn't be an insider tip, but let me break it to you. Realtors want to sell your home for the most amount of money as well. Remember, almost all of the time, our commissions are commensurate to the price of the home. So we want to make more money, we need to sell it for a higher price. Also, there's bragging rights here. We want to be the one who sells your home for the most amount of money. Trust me, there's not as much of a disconnect as sometimes we think, but pricing strategy is huge. We are professionals. We understand the market dynamics and how our home, or how your home, I should say, fits in that market dynamic, and we are advising you on the quickest path of least resistance to sell for the most amount of money. So trust me, sometimes it feels like an uphill battle, but we are trying to help you position your home in the right spot within the market. Because pricing is not just picking a number, it's positioning the home within the market. And as we know, the market goes up, the market goes down. The desirability of certain homes changes over time. Location is key, of course. That's something buyers always tend to come back to, is location. But we also never know what other homes that we're going to be competing against when we list. We might find 2 or 3 homes that we were not expecting to come to market right before we come to market. We have to play off of that. We have to position ourselves within the market relative to our competition. And that is where a lot of the disconnect on pricing between realtor and seller, that's where it occurs. And the goal isn't to test the market, is to attract the market. So as realtors, a lot of times we hear from our sellers, well, we'll list a little high and then we'll be able to negotiate, we'll be able to come down. Generally speaking, not a great idea. That's for a multitude of reasons, but this video is not for that. We don't want to test the market, we want to attract the market. Buyers in our market, especially here in upstate New York, they're savvy buyers. They understand what they're looking at and they know how to measure some of those market dynamics. And after all, when a home sits on the market for a long period of time, buyers know and they don't offer as much as the sellers would like them to in most situations. The next thing I want to talk about is market exposure. Oftentimes people think we just list the home for sale on the MLS and then we sit back and wait. And I'd be lying if I said that a lot of agents don't simply do that. But the marketing exposure over the first 7 days in particular is the most important. You're going to learn a lot about the desirability of your home in the first 7 days. How many showings have you scheduled? What was the response at the open house if you had any? What was the response on the inbound calls from other realtors as well as buyers at large who don't have a realtor and are reaching out to the listing agent? What's going on in those 7 days? Are we being proactive or are we not? It's always best to have a plan in place, a marketing and exposure strategy in place. That way, by the time you actually list the property, you're generally speaking halfway through that marketing plan because you've already put some feelers out there. You've already educated the neighborhood that the home is going to be coming for sale. The marketing exposure is super important right before the home lists as well as the first 7 days. And if your marketing is not strong in the first 7 days, you're going to lose that window. Weak photos, no video, poor exposure, it all hurts. Now, we don't just list homes, we launch homes. We have a pre-list marketing strategy. We have a post-list marketing strategy. We have everything in tune to know exactly what we're going to do before the home hits the market after the home hits the market. And the goal of that is to bring as much attention as possible so we get more buyers and multiple offers to put you in a good situation. So the marketing exposure is super important. Do not let your realtor list your home without a plan of action, and a plan of action that they actually share with you so you can hold them accountable. And the last point I want to talk about today is agent execution. This is one that's often overlooked. As I mentioned before in the video, we don't just list homes and sit back and wait. Some agents do. That's a terrible idea, and that's a great plan if you want your home to either not sell or sit on the market for a long period of time. For example, what happens after showings? Is feedback being collected? Are we bringing that feedback back to the seller and saying, hey, what adjustments can we make? Is there anything we can reassure the buyer of? Hey, are they upset that there's a wall in the house that maybe it's not painted? A lot of times those simple fixes will help attract the right buyer, but you have to be proactive about it, and you have to look to solve that problem when they arise. You're going to need someone actively managing the process. Without a proper strategy, a listing will just sit on the market for 6 months without being sold. And this is something that no seller wants. A listing without a strategy is just hope. So if you see a home that's been on the market for quite some time, it generally comes down to 3 things: pricing strategy, marketing and exposure, and agent execution. If your home did not sell the first time, it probably wasn't your home. It was one of those 3 things. Now, if you want, I'm happy to break down our marketing plan and how we list, market, and sell homes. Give us a call directly at 315-351-2765. This has been Cameron Stewart with the Homes by Cameron Stewart Real Estate Team, powered by eXp Realty.